3 years now since Russia invaded Ukraine, here are 5 things to know about the war today. First, the human toll has just been staggering. Estimates indicate the total number of human casualties has surpassed 1 million. There's a lot of discrepancies about the information coming out of that region, but it is clear that the Russian losses far outweigh the death toll in Ukraine. And when it comes to non-combat related casualties, an estimated 13,000 civilians appear to have been lost, with entire cities just leveled in Ukraine. Second, let's talk about the invasion itself. It's believed Russian forces now occupy around 20% of Ukraine's territory. It's about 44,000 square miles or so, all on the eastern side of the country. It's roughly about the size of the state of Virginia. Third is the economic toll that this war has taken. A big part of the international response to all of this has been sanctions on Russia. Western powers, including the United States, have been targeting Russian banks, state-owned enterprises, and oligarchs to try to put pressure on Vladimir Putin to just back off. There's also been a serious limit on the amount of Russian oil people are bringing into their country, which has kind of spiked gas prices in some cases. But it's the people of Russia that are really suffering as well. The Bank of Russia has raised its inflation forecast to 6.8%, and interest rates are now about 21% in that country to try to stabilize prices and get a hold of the national currency. Next thing to know is the latest on the global alliances surrounding this war. The US has sent about $183 billion to date to Ukraine, and Western powers have been resolute in standing with Ukraine since the invasion began. A lot of countries have been extra cautious, though, especially in that region. They don't want to start an all-out war, and Russia itself is cozying up to countries in that region, like North Korea, for example. North Korean soldiers have been spotted on the front lines of the war, fighting in the name of Russia. And finally, the Trump effect. It's a particularly gloomy anniversary now because of the position that Donald Trump appears to be taking with Ukraine. Since taking office, President Trump has railed against the amount of money America has sent to Ukraine and have called on allies to try to spend more. And now his administration is trying to get Ukraine to give up rights to its rare minerals as a way to sort of pay us back. The president also claims Ukraine started the war and even went as far as to call Volodymyr Zelensky, that country's president, a dictator. President Trump appears to be working with Russia on some kind of peace deal, but so far Ukraine really isn't at the table involved in these talks. So now 3 years later, we're still waiting to see how this standoff could shake out in the months to come.